Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library. The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. Again? In November of 1959, a little cartoon with a lot of heart made its debut. The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle starred Rocky, the brave flying squirrel, and his pal Bullwinkle, a good-natured but rather boneheaded moose, as they took on the evil forces of Boris Badenov and Natasha Fatal, who, full disclosure, was my earliest cartoon crush. It was more a variety show, with short skits and scenes, as well as segments with other characters, such as Dudley Do-Right, Peabody and Sherman, and Fractured Fairy Tales. In fact, due to its primitive animation and shockingly fun writing, some consider it more a radio play with moving pictures than a cartoon. But no matter what it was, the show and characters were quite legendary, which is why it makes it so surprising that there were so few Rocky and Bullwinkle games. There was the usual releases for NES and Game Boy to begin with, and then a simultaneous release for SNES and Genesis, and that's about where the main games stop. There was a quiz game in 1998, and a god-awful WarioWare ripoff in 2008, but for a popular cartoon series which had a few attempts at revivals, it's surprisingly light on video game releases, which means they either got the first games so right that they didn't want to touch them, or they got them so wrong that it killed the brand. I was hoping this cover would show off all the characters, and boy was I not disappointed. So many fun and lively characters on the show, and at least one really hot one. God, I had such a crush on Natasha you would not believe. So, what did the moose and squirrel bring to the table? Now here's something I hope I really like. It's The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. Ooh, lively music to begin. I always like it when ident screens have actual music. Sometimes it's just silent and it's no good. The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Oh my god, Bullwinkle, are you okay? You look really, really concerned. I mean, he is half buried, but still. Alright, let's do this. Our story begins in beautiful downtown Frostbite Falls, where a major event is about to take place. The grand opening of the Rocky and Bullwinkle Museum. Oh my god, is that Captain Wrongway Peach Fuzz? He's one of the best characters. Not to mention the museum curator, Captain Peter Peach Fuzz. It is. Hi there. Hey, I thought you weren't going to mention him. Wow, well, they got the humor right. On display is an exhibit of priceless objects they've collected from exploits. What would the museum be without? Crack staff of dedicated guards. With strange oh, god damn it. Yeah, even the narrators figured this out. Who? It's Boris Badenov and oh, Natasha. They've modeled your boobs very well. The priceless objects begin to disappear. What will our heroes? We better start the game to find out. Yeah, they've totally gotten the humor down. And now we're back to credits. Following Rocky's advice to begin the game, Bullwinkle takes to the sometimes friendly streets in search of purloined prizes. Alright, we're finally at the game. Okay, A, to do an extremely slow jump, and B, to do rocking out. Who is throwing bombs at me? Oh, of course it's Belarus. My headbutt doesn't seem to do anything. Bullwinkle's dead. Let's go. This was the wrong thing to do. Okay. Oh, what? I can stand on the windows? Okay. Get out of here. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. Boris is back. Ooh, this is not that good so far. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't be that surprised because very few of the Rocky and Bullwinkle games are any good, but so far this is super so. Another one? Why are there just like 100 Borises everywhere? Okay, I picked up health, I think. Natasha! Oh god, my knees. This feels like, oh god, how do I put this? This feels like baby's first platformer. This is like the kind of thing a little kid would play to learn how to play a platformer. But I mean, were little kids really into Rocky and Bullwinkle? I feel like this game would more appeal to, you know, people who are fans of the old show. Darn. This town is nothing but knives and dogs. Okay. Oh my god, that was depressing. I was going to say, at least the game looks alright, but something's off with Bullwinkle. Like, the way his face looks is just weird. The music is incredibly repetitive. Just gonna ignore Boris. Just gonna ignore them. I have more important things to do. Like die. Ooh, this is not going that well. What is this thing? It's like a weird wind-up fish? The water killed me? This this feels like one of those bare minimum platformers. Alright, we threw down some enemies. When you hit a button, you jump. Yeah, it's a platformer. We're good. We've learned to play the game. Don't know how to get past that without getting hit. The dog just moved with me. Oh my gosh. This is really bad. It's like difficulty, but not the usual kind of difficulty, if that makes sense. It's not the kind of difficulty it's like, oh, they put in specialty-made challenges. It's, they threw down a bunch of enemies and didn't bother to, play test the game. I wonder what future levels are like. I might actually have to look that up because something tells me I'm not getting past this part of the game. Progress. Progress. We are making it somewhere. You also can't look down, so it's hard to tell where you can and can't fall. This area is still... What is this game doing to me? Haven't I been here before? Is the level looping? Wait. Dog, biggest enemy in the game. We made it! Oh. Oh dear. The sewer is just happening now. What? Oh god, what is your face? Press A to begin. What am I doing? I think I'm playing poker? What? What was I supposed to do? Nothing is being explained, and everything is really slow. Can I go back in here? I can. Oh! I spend those coins I've been picking up at this game. I see. What? Okay, you know what? Ugh. This game is no good. I know I haven't made it that far, but, I can just already tell. Unless the game suddenly picks up in quality, which, let's be honest, it's not going to. This game is no good. It's awkward to play, it's not that good looking, it doesn't sound good. At least it had that cutscene that had the humor of the original show. That's something. It's not much, but it is something. Oof, I think I pulled this one out of the wrong hat. At its best, Rocky and Bullwinkle was a cleverly written show with some fun stories and genuinely enjoyable characters. And credits where it's due, the game did at least capture some of that. The opening cutscene definitely felt like something out of the show, writing-wise, with a few corny jokes and some self-awareness sprinkled in. Unfortunately, right there is where my positive comments on the game end, because it was just no good. Starting with the controls, the jumping was incredibly floaty, so landing on the precise jumps the game needs you to make was shockingly hard. Couple that with enemies that are hard to hit, and some who actively track you, and you're left with a supremely difficult video game for all the wrong reasons. And even if the controls were okay, it's not like the actual gameplay would be worth it. It was as generic and boring a platformer as you could make, just walking to the right until the game tells you to stop walking to the right. There was a minigame thrown in, but it was completely confusing and slow, just as frustrating as the game itself. I looked it up, and future levels don't really do anything worthwhile. They just change around what character you play as. It really was baby's first platformer, with absolutely nothing worth playing about it besides a few seconds of funny dialogue in the opening cutscene. Maybe the reason Rocky and Bullwinkle never got many games is because when they did, they were just no good. Get your moose and squirrel fix by just watching the show, because you certainly aren't going to get much enjoyment out of their jump to the Game Boy. Ah well, at least I got to see Natasha again. I don't care how evil and fictional you are, one day we will be wed. And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to follow the series as we continue to dig through the Game Boy vault. I'm Brian J, and I'll see you next time.